music production.
All right, y'all, welcome to another episode of Unfriended. Before we get started, let me give a shout out to Panther City Hat Company. I'm going to put all the links below. Go over to the website. It's panthercityhatco.com. It's panthercityhatco.com. At checkout, use the code Unfriended. Get you a little 15% off. As I say always, man, those are just two of the hats. Those are my favorite ones. They got a ton of other stuff. They got hats for girls, hats for kids. If you want to match with your little one. Go ahead and do that. You can also find them on Instagram and Facebook at Panther City Hat Company. And a shout out to Klarity Music Group for the production of this podcast. You can find them at claritymusicgroup.com, Instagram and Facebook. Klarity Music Group LLC is Klarity with a K. I'm going to put all the links below for y'all. And today, man, got my boy Milky Beatz. What's good?
What's good?
Yeah, man. And, you know, I don't know if we can claim the most requested guest, but we could say you've already, you know, we talked about you a lot on here already. So now we
that's
had
crazy to hear. That's
how is it crazy?
I don't know. Like,
you know, you're you're a
cool,
part
man.
of this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know that, bro. You ain't got to be all.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
I appreciate the humbleness, but like you I mean, and I'll be real with me, bro. My computer's filled up with artists from all over the city, and I know yours is just like mine, so it only makes sense that you're getting shouted out randomly and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Joe, shout out Rec, shout out. Sorry for whoever else I'm forgetting that brought him up. But man, we'll go ahead and dive in, man. First thing I actually want to talk to you about, dude, is I'm just curious. Shit, going from before having a kid and having a kid, as far as your music and even just life in general, like when the hell do you sleep? When do you, you know what I mean?
Man, you just sleep when you can. That's just, it's kind of how it's always been, but it's definitely different with having a kid, you know, like, you move different. A lot of the things that you do, you realize like maybe that's not the best use of my time right now. Like,
priorities.
So, it does that, and you know, definitely the focus. Like, you definitely like, all right, like I'm doing this not just for me now. Like, it's
you doing this
community
for,
effort with, you know, with the family and all that. So
and not to put like you on blast or put nothing like that, but like, you know, just your girl and even your family and stuff. Do they still like? You know, they know. They know you have a gift and shit, right? Like, they want you to keep pursuing music, or are they like, hey, man, that's not. Again, I'm not trying to like put them on blast where you're like, yeah, they telling me. I'm just curious, like, because the kid is a big.
Like
it's
I
a
think
big
that there's
thing, man. Like,
there's some support there. Like, you know, always, you know, like family. It's always weird, like being that guy at family functions, like, oh, you do hip hop music, or oh, you still make those rap beats.
You're like Milky Beatz.
Yeah, but it's like you know, it's almost like they downplay what I actually do. It's like, no, like I'm not just making beats. Like, it's, you know, engineer, I do this. So it's one of those things like, like I don't really look to family to be the ones who like motivate me to keep going and do things. So
right. I get that, because I finally learned my lesson too. Like my pops is just simply not going to understand what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't until certain things happened, you know, to where he finally was like, oh, he's really not just in the studio fucking around, and like he's like really working.
That's
like he's
exactly
really been,
it.
and even now he's still like, you know, still making sure like he's still a little like, I don't know, man. You know, like I'm trying to support you, but at the same time, like it's pretty risky. You know, this and that. Again, I don't have a kid. I'm just out here for me, which is already tough enough. I can't imagine. I can't even barely take care of myself, bro. So that's why I can't have a damn kid right now. If I did, I don't even want to think about it, bro. But I do want kids, so that's kind of why I wanted to pick your brain a little bit. But you know, first I'm single, by the way, y'all. You know, first I got to get a girl. You know,
right.
Let's start at step one.
Throw the Tinder tag up here.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna do all that bullshit, bro. You know, preferably I'd like to find like an artist or something. You know, not even necessarily to work with, but just, you know, or somebody that does something creative.
That understands, yeah.
Or understands, like, hey, this is a risk. If you want to be a part of my life, this shit is risky. I'm going to either be broke as shit or a multimillionaire. I don't know, but this shit's risky and it's scary for me. So
Write it out.
it's going to be scary for you. Like, it's going to, I have really good months and I have really fucking horrible months, bro.
Yeah.
There's no consistency in it. And every time I do start finding a pocket of consistency, well, now I've learned my lesson, but before I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm about to like stop doing that part-time job. I'm about to, and then I'm like, God, I'm glad I didn't quit that, because this month I ain't barely got anything. I just finished this client's album, so now that was money I was used to coming in that just is gone. Like, you know, stuff like that. I know you know all about that stuff, man.
Nah. And that's one thing, like, I'm lucky that I do have a wife that understands, like, some of the moves with music. Like, she might not always agree with all of it, but she definitely understands. But that's one thing, like you said, like, I went through, like, I just turned 30, so...
Hey, you know, I'm 32.
Yeah,
or 30 as well.
So, exactly. So, like, that was, like, a whole, like, I look at it like, all right, I spent my 20s, you know, moving around, like, trying to do the all right, I'm gonna just do this full time, to all right, let me go ahead and like find a career that
be realistic,
I
and
enjoy,
be responsible,
that still brings in some of those things that I've been doing creatively underneath, you know, like music or anything like that.
Yeah.
And while also focusing on the passion of like, all right, like I'm gonna do this producing thing one day, like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know.
So
but,
you haven't lost. Yeah. You can honestly look in yourself in the mirror, and you know, like you haven't like
half-assed
like that's the thing. Of course, you've had to maneuver differently, but you got the music in you. It's gonna always be in you. Because I can't imagine ever like I said, you know, if I had a girl who was like, boy, you're gonna have to stop. Like this thing ain't taking off yet. You're gonna need it. I'm like, this is not gonna work.
So I mean,
you know what I mean?
It's just all about like, I guess prioritizing.
Yeah.
That whole.
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off, but shout out Outsiders Club, man.
Oh, good luck, man.
I keep on saying I'm gonna get a shirt or something so I can rep, but I never do.
And for the people, let people know what's your connection to the Outsiders Club.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, because Joe you and me talked you up, you know, so you got to maintain. Like we put you up on the pedestal a little bit, man. So you got to maintain it, and it's real shit too. We weren't bullshitting with y'all.
So Outsiders Club, it's like just a collective of creatives, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, like we got merch and things like that. We're really working on the quality control. So like not a lot of stuff is up to like buy or anything yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is actually one of the things that we're looking at doing. I already fucking spilled coffee on that shit.
Hey, you gotta live your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But no, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just. Like, I do the creative direction, so...
Okay, that's what I was going to ask is what your part is, because the way Joe had explained it was, like, you know, everybody just brings to the table what they have, you know, and of course I know you do, you know, the producing, and I'm sure you're doing probably most of the mixing, mastering, all that stuff like that, but I didn't know if you also, because I know you're pretty business savvy too, so I didn't know if you were doing something, had another role too, or... Yeah,
I mean, we kind of all... I guess I run the day in and day out of like the business, like the regular doings of everything.
I would place you there. I don't know the other people, but
yeah, but you know, it's a group effort. It's a group of us that are all together, and we all do different creative things like video, graphic design, photography, a little bit of all of it. And it's just all of us bringing our efforts to the table.
Is your brother a part of that? Because I know he's on, like, he stays recording and editing
always,
and stuff.
Yeah, Jake Youngin.
And hitting the gym, bro. Consistent. Yeah. Props to you, bro. I'll be laying down, like,
he's
seeing
dedicated.
Him going in, and I'm like, fuck, bro, I got to get in the gym, bro. I'm like 200 years behind this dude as far as gym. You know, I'm not trying to get all cut up like him, but, dude, he does stay consistent, man. Like, props to him, dude. Like, it's inspirational, bro, when I see people just consistent, whatever you do, bro. It don't have to even be music related, like the gym. Like, just the fact that I see him, like, he done transform into a monster, bro. Like, this past year, you know? And again, I've talked to him maybe once or twice, like, in person. But we talk on Facebook all the time and shit. But, again, bro, it's just consistency, bro. I like seeing that shit, man. And before I forget, I always end up doing this too late. But your boy Rob G, my boy T over here. Sometimes he holds it down. Sometimes he just sits there all quiet.
It was bound to come up. So.
I gotta mess with him, bro, because he'll be over here over here. He just be over here. Hey, you know
He's
how
soaking
it
it
goes,
all up. He's like,
that's
all
his
right, let me-
excuse, and it actually is
He's
legit.
like, I'm getting into the conversation.
He really is soaking it up. I can honestly say that, but But anyways, yes, he holds it down though, and I talk way too fucking much, so he actually balances me out. Like I go back and watch shit I'm editing, and I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Talking to myself, I'm like, fucking shut up. Like, but I can't. It's too late. It's already recorded. I'm editing it. I'm
done,
like,
it's
I
done.
understand that.
I'm
I
like,
do the same shit.
T, man, like you doing like. I need to hop on T's shit a little bit and just lay back and chill sometimes. But somebody got to host the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody got to ask some questions and
Take
shit
the
like
reins,
that.
T.
You should have seen him. I don't know if you saw the episode with the boxer we just had on.
No, I haven't.
You would
I need to
enjoy
go
it.
back and
It's
play
dope.
some
And
catch
again,
up.
we cut back to 30 minutes so people can start actually watching them and shit because they were getting way too out of control. But he was like, I was just like, I guess I'm not even hosting this shit because he was over here like, all right, first off, what about like I'm like. So I know you got it in you. You fucked up by doing that because now I know you got it in you. So, you know what I'm saying? Speak up, little boy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all y'all gonna hear from him for the day. But let's see. And this is like a super cliche ass question. And again, I already told you I don't want to be sitting here like interviewing you and shit. But you and me hadn't really got to ever sit down and just talk. You know what I'm saying? The times that we see each other's really never.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm at a show or something. It might be what's up
Doing work.
later, or you came over here and helped me get a bunch of shit going. That's how we even met in person. And by the way, thank you for that because you didn't
man,
fucking
for
know
sure.
me and you just literally like showed up in person.
Nah.
And I'm like, who the fuck does that anymore? And there's a lot of good people out there. I'm not trying to say like this, they ain't out there, but they're really not. But how, again, generic question, but how long have you been doing this music shit, man?
Man, I started making beats like probably 2007, around the time that I was graduating high school.
Yeah. So you're class of 07?
Yeah,
same here.
07. Yeah. I don't know. I was in band and stuff in high school, and I was on the drum line. And,
I was about
percussion.
to say percussion, right?
Yeah. So.
Bass drum?
Yeah, bass drum on the drum
I can
line.
picture you.
Yeah.
I can picture you hitting the bass. That's what
I always
said.
preferred the pit percussion, like the bells and like the timpani's my favorite instrument.
Okay.
Like timpani drum, like it's just the most creative instrument to me.
And that's
like,
the detail and shit,
Yeah.
like the little shit.
But yeah, bass drum on like marching drum line and shit like that.
What high school did you go to?
Everman.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
I went to Eastern Hills.
Okay.
So we
Not too far apart.
played each other or whatever the fuck. I wouldn't buy that, bro. As soon as I got my first guitar, I was like, fuck this school shit.
Band.
I barely made it the fuck out, man. I was in band, actually. I got kicked out in middle school. I got kicked out because I had already been playing drums since I was a little kid, and I was on the snare drum. This is middle school, though, just stupid shit. And I never wanted to learn how to read the music and shit. I would just, we were doing stupid little damn near paradiddles and shit. This is middle school, and I would just hear it once and just know it. So for the whole first like little half of the year, she thought I could read it. Cause it's simple shit, bro, and I could do this same as you, intricate shit. You remember it, it's stupid little shit. But then I started adding in like dope shit, and I'm on some Nick Cannon drumline shit, and they're like, "Hey, that's not it." You know what I'm saying? You do, and then I kept on wanting to show off, and I got kicked out. And then when I tried to go my freshman year in high school, I wanted to be a part of the band as well. But that band director had told them already, like, don't let this dude in because he doesn't want to listen to nobody. He's hard headed and he's trying to show off and shit. So I never got to be a part of it. But that's when I started. I was like, I'm gonna start my own band. So I was like. High school wasn't even there, bro. I got my dad in trouble for truancy. He had to go to court. I never was in school. All I wanted to do was play guitar. All I wanted to do was play drums. All I wanted to do was... I missed prom because I had a show that night. I don't even want to say miss prom. I didn't care about that shit. I didn't even know prom. You know what I mean? I didn't get no fucking ring. I didn't... You know what I mean? I was just like ever since... on the east side of Fort Worth, Lancaster, I hit a pawn shop up, $45 acoustic guitar, and that was it for me, bro. Like that was it, and that was middle school, bro. I was 7th grade. I got that little shitty ass acoustic guitar, and I still got it, man. And shit, that was just my outlet. You know what I mean? But enough about me. And T over here, I'm teaching him how to play, and he's killing it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say that on the air right now, bro. And he's also lucky enough to, like, I've already helped him skip so many fucking steps, shit that I wish somebody would have told me. You know, like, hey, don't worry, do this.
Pro
do
tips.
this. First night we picked one up, he already wrote a whole song and shit. You know, it wasn't perfect, but he was able to rap and play the first time I handed him acoustic.
Fire.
That's dope, bro. Like, I couldn't do that, dude. I couldn't do that. First song I learned was "Damn It" by Blink-182, and that took me like 3 months to learn. I could show that to him right now, and I bet he'll play it, bro.
I to this day probably couldn't ever like play an instrument and sing. First off, I couldn't sing to save my life.
I could see you hitting them low hooks and shit. Like, just, you know.
But I don't know. I hate playing music live. Because, you know, that exact reason, like you were saying, like you would try to freak stuff in band and you'd get in trouble for it. Like, shout out to all the people in the percussion group that I was in, because that's like what you do. Like you are the
See, in high school they would have embraced that. They would have been like, "Hey, Rob, you go in." But we used to get cracked at in middle school for that, and then like by high school they were embracing it. And you know, I was on a group of like super talented people, like on snare and all that stuff. Like all these guys that went to like schools to play in band and stuff. Like super dope stuff. I know y'all were turning up like how we were at Hills. I mean, they were turning it up. Like that shit. So I was like, damn, I actually kind of want to be a part of that shit. But
so sometime I guess like near my senior year, that's whenever I was like, hell yeah, like somebody gets paid to make music that I hear on the radio. Like it was like 50 Cent, like. What is it? PIMP.
07, all that.
I'm like, wait, like somebody's making the beats for this? Like this isn't like somebody playing each instrument?
You're like, I do that for free.
Yeah, it's
but
like, wait, somebody's doing this
though?
on a computer. Yeah, like well, I didn't even know people made money at that point. Like I was just like, I mean, I'm sure that I knew that, but it wasn't like,
but you went about
I was just
that.
like, wait, hold up. Like somebody is using a computer to make this shit? Like for real?
So 07, you know, getting out of high school and all that shit. I'm just gonna assume, because just from the conversation we just had, you already were, you know, we can safe to say like you were a music lover well above the average. You know what I mean? Right? I mean, you're your band and you.
I mean, so I didn't really. I grew up. My parents listened to like a lot of country and stuff. Okay. So like, I still to this day like it kills me to listen to country because I'm. Not really a fan of the same.
If you find that real country though, I would never put it on. But if it is on, I can appreciate like the old shit, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's
but
pretty
not
much
the new
what they
shit.
listen
That's pretty much
to,
like a Taylor
that.
Swift song that's just country. Fuck all that.
No.
But like real
but like
country.
They listen to like Garth Brooks and George Strait and like
even that's kind of still you got to go back further. Johnny Cash. And,
I would say like once I listened to my dad's actual like tapes and stuff, it's like, what do you have in your truck? Like, and it was like
the real
good
shit.
Stuff. It was like Pink Floyd. And So I mean, like, I was like, okay, like this is kind of cool. So I definitely think that hearing that type of like different rock on top of like what I'm ingesting by watching shit on TV and
just
all
a
of
sponge,
that, just
you know
like,
what I mean? Like soaking shit up. So when did the hip hop start like coming into play? Or like whenever you first started making, well, I guess you're making beats 07, you went straight to hip hop, started making beats, right? Or were you
pretty much like, because that was like my first realization that like I never really was one of those people that thought like, oh yeah, music's gonna be this for me or that for me. Like I always wanted to be a lawyer. Like still think like that would be cool to do.
Get it?
But
what's stopping you, man?
Yeah,
I mean, now you got this
right
kid
now.
And all that, but
that's the only thing. Figuring that
can go
out.
hard,
but no,
though.
like I definitely like that's on like the bucket list of things still. But once I found the music and like kind of started rocking with that, it was like, all right, like this is cool. Like I went to like graduated, went to school and really realized like, okay, like college isn't it. Like this campus life is legit crazy. Like Drake wasn't lying.
What college did you go to?
So I started at UTA. Like that's where I went to school right off the bat after graduating. And
For some reason, I thought you went to TCU.
No.
I don't know why I was thinking.
I wish my parents ain't rich like that.
Yeah. See, I don't know much about you.
Hell
man.
no.
That's what's up though.
I would have liked to go to TCU. Like,
me too.
But no. Like I guess hindsight, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I think I would have. But my wife went to TCU.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Funny
dope.
enough.
Hey, man. You know, I think I think I'm thinking of San Marcos, bro. Ratio girl to guy 3-1. So I would probably, I think TCU
Texas.
is not as dope as that.
Yeah.
But, or however you want to word it. But, yeah, man, me going to fucking college, I'll probably have 10 kids by now, bro. Man, 10 different women or something.
Yeah.
That was my old, again, I'm single, y'all. I'm not like that anymore. Trying to be.
It may be true. It may not be true.
Come on,
Let the
bro.
freak
You gonna say
flag
one thing you
fly.
gonna say
One
today,
thing
you
I'm
gonna
gonna
throw me
say
under
is
the
you don't
bus?
have no kids, so that's the proof in the pudding, right there.
There we go.
Safe sex is practiced.
Responsible. Yeah, exactly. You know, I was about to say something to fuck all what you just said up, but yeah, exactly what he said. You got anything you want to pick his brain on? I mean,
Nah,
I still
man.
got some other stuff. I just didn't know if you wanted to chime in a little bit at some
Well,
point.
we got a lot of similarities, and that's what I've been noticing. It's just, you looking at me like I'm one.
Because I'm like similarities. I don't see them. Yeah, you can't say, that.
I'm
man.
saying maybe
yeah, we
that's
got
something just for
similarities.
me. You know what I'm saying? To internalize.
Bullet point 1, 2, like, you know, okay.
But that thing about being a lawyer, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
I
good
do
luck.
think
Yeah,
so.
he's gonna need one.
Pretty much.
So
yeah.
if you could follow through with that.
That's pretty loud.
We got the pilot. We had come on locked in. So when we start touring, we got the private. You know this. He gonna need a fucking lawyer because he over here doing the most. I'm not gonna incriminate you on camera, but you need a good lawyer, bro.
That's what I want to do is entertainment law. I just don't want to go to New York to have to like go
That's
get a
the
degree.
most sought out kind of law practice because like people like Harvey Levin, TMZ.
Bro, what if you
They
get
going
into
Yeah.
like the music law? What if you get into lawyer, or what would it be called? Just like, you know, them entertainment lawyers where they do contracts and shit like
Yeah,
that.
so like
you can
that's-
dip into that.
That's exactly what I want to do. Like originally it was always like I want to be corporate business law, and then like once I started doing music, it's like holy shit, like I can't really find a quick entertainment lawyer like without spending like bukus of bucks and not really knowing that they're right here really gonna work with me. Like it's not like I can find a criminal attorney and sit with them right here in Fort Worth
instantly.
But I can't find an entertainment lawyer like easily here in DFW.
See, bro, that's something we all need, and you know that. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of there's a lot of talent out here, man, and you know, bro, even me I'm trying to learn, and I do my research and this and that, but, and I know you know, I need to pick your brain more. Again, I would do that off camera or whatever, but just as far as royalties and just the simple stuff, I'm still trying to grasp, you know, and just contracts and stuff like that. I've been learning as I've been moving, but I'd like to know steps ahead, even though I'm not there yet, so I can know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'll pick your brain more off the camera on that because that's just more just stuff that I damn near want to write down and shit and this and that or whatever. And I'm not saying you have all the answers, but I know I see stuff you post and stuff about monetizing, and if this person would have listened, he could have. Again, not claiming you know everything, but you know a hell of a lot more than me. I just make dope shit, and I do my best to put it out, and you know through my BMI, ASCAP, and all that, and I try to do this and that, but I don't really, you know, I can't claim. It'd be a lie if I said I knew what the fuck was really going on, and I need to, bro, because this is gonna be my career. This is my career.
And
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
exactly it.
And I need to know what the fuck is going on, dude. Like I need a business guy to like sit me down and teach me the game. And I wish I hate even admitting that, you know, but
no,
that's
but that's
just the real,
real,
bro.
Like that's real, and a lot of artists
it.
don't ever want to admit that, or creatives, they don't ever want to admit that until it's like too late, and they're like, you know, knee deep into
whatever, and you can't get out, and you already signed this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But as far as like your studio and all that stuff, or just like the brand Milky Beatz in general, are you? Because over the years, dude, you know, I was, you know, when I had the other location, I'm just like trying to just get business, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to network, do this and that, blah, blah, blah. But over time, I'm like, hey, bro, if you're bringing YouTube beats and shit, I'm not working with you. If you're not actually owning the beats and shit, I've learned that at least. Like, I want to make music that matters, bro, that could really do something. But what I was going to ask you is, have you, since you don't have as much time as before, are you pretty much zoning in on like 2 or 3 or 5 like artists, or are you still open for like,
so
like how, just, you know, in a nutshell, like how are you maneuvering these days as far as Milky Beatz?
I've never really been super big on like just plastering a bunch of beats out there for anybody to easily access because
Right.
of that. Like I hate hearing like shit songs on my tracks. It's like, wait, what
Man.
did I do? Like was my beat that bad that this song had to be made?
Nah.
So I definitely try to zone in this year. More importantly, than like I'm taking that more seriously. I guess not necessarily more importantly, but definitely going to focus on like just 5 artists, like no more than 5 this year that are hip hop based. Because I'm just kind of uninspired by hip hop lately. Like,
Bro,
a lot of people
me
have been really
too.
basic with it, and
Me too. That's why, again, not to cut you off, but that's why I'm so glad I found T, because I can finally, we can just create, bro. We're not in a box. He don't want to sound like anybody. He sounds like himself. And everybody else, bro, and I'm just going to be honest, well, it doesn't matter now because I don't work with any of these people, but I had like a template made. And, dude, everybody would leave like, oh my God, because I'd already have, bro, I would just literally find the tempo, find what key it's in, auto-tune already set up, the delay's already set up, this already, reverb, perfect. And they'd record it and they'd be like, bro, this is it. And I'm just shaking my head like, bro, I can't keep doing this, man. I do need the money and shit. You know, I'd rather do this than go do some other, but at the same time, I'm like, honestly, bro, I almost would rather just go do some other shit today, because I take this music shit, I respect this shit, bro. Like, I want to be creative. I want to make real shit. And I was like, bro, that's when my first step was like, bro, if you're bringing shit, YouTube beats, can't work with you anymore.
no,
You need to, I was like, I can link you up with people, man. Like, but, you know, whatever your budget is, I know people here, but like you gotta, or do something, but don't bring me any YouTube shit. I'm not working with you anymore. And, you know, I don't know, bro. I just got respect for it's my outlet and shit, man. So I don't, it's not fun for me to, if I ain't got the stems, and it's like, what the fuck you want me to do, man? But I was, like I said, I had the template to where I'm just hitting record, and then I'm like, yeah, let's double that up. Hey, let's do some ad lib. I already got the ad lib track set exactly how I know you already want it. All right, you know what I mean? It's like, this is weak as fuck, bro.
See, and that's exactly it. Like I learned after doing it for like a number of years, like that exact same thing. And it's like exactly what you said. Like you need the money. You see how quick it can come because you're doing that, you know, real fast, like the trap with the auto tune. And I got to the point where like now, like I don't even like tracking shit. Like I'm kind of possessive with my music to where it's like, if we're recording, then like, or making a track to my beat, it's like, all right, I want to be the one to be there tracking, but I don't don't want to track.
Send him to your boy. Cause that's what I'm saying. I do make shit, you know, but I don't really make beats and shit. I make songs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't make songs, but like, bro, Milky Beatz, bro, you make them beats. You know what I'm saying? I got people that want that shit, and I don't really do that. I was, you know, and like you said, bro, you can send them my way, and I'll I'll do justice on as far as tracking and shit like that. You know, I had to put you on blast on the air, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Who's predominantly your clientele base, like your customer base, if you had to break it down to like demographics or however you would break it down?
Man, it's kind of all over the place. I've been doing like trap stuff lately. I do a lot of boom bap. Like for a long time, people kind of like categorize me as like, oh, he makes boom bap beats, because
when I first met you, that's what I kind of, for some reason, I don't know if someone said something or you said, or I just got a vibe, or maybe I heard it one beat and I just happened to catch that, but I kind of was like, yeah, he do that shit.
And it's because Suave or Camacho and J.O.E., like that's kind of their wheelhouse, is like that classic boom bap, and that's who I produce for. Like, you know, outside of like a 5 that I would have this year, like always will be working on stuff and have stuff in the pipeline with Suave and J.O.E. because, you know, that's their
Suave. I thought he was the video guy.
Yeah.
He raps too?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you need to, check him out.
I've met him multiple times, but I've always, you know, I thought he was just he's part of the Outsiders Club, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he rapped though, man. That's what's up. I need to.
Yeah, Suave Ski.
Yes, what's up? Yeah, that's dope. So how many is it? Like 10 of y'all, or is it like 5 people?
It grows,
or just random.
It's like
it's organic. Just whatever we're doing.
Yeah, like
people's moving.
You know, like we have like artists, like, you know, visual artists that like paint and stuff. You know, it's just like a collective.
Are you still working heavy with Eric Evans? Again, not to put you on blast or anything, but I know whenever y'all were putting out like a lot of video content, like maybe a year or two. Time flies, bro. It might have been 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I
like
mean-
I remember y'all were, well, you're how I found out about him, because there was videos I think of him talking about on a couch or something. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yo, I just like how simple this is, and like it's a good introduction to him. And he was talking about how he's been all over the world. I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna fuck with this dude, and he fuck with Milky Beatz. So, but again, I don't, I know,
Yeah, no,
even your
I
social
do,
media is
like-
cut back, so it's hard for me to see what you're doing. and,
Eric's fam. We haven't like dropped anything. We were working on some stuff for a while. I'm like I said, possessive about tracks. So if it's
Yeah.
not perfect, like it'll sit on the hard drive until either I make it perfect
Yeah.
or
it just gonna stay.
it just
and live
sits.
there. Yeah.
But I'm starting to get less about that, and I'm starting to learn ways that I can like engineer things to make them sound different in a way that, even though the takes might have been bad, it still works. So
Yeah.
I'm slowly
Yeah.
trying to like package all that stuff up. But
That's what's up, man.
no, we haven't like dropped tracks in a while. But that dudede's always working. Like he does,
Yeah,
he
he's
did a
about
lot-
to tour, I
yeah.
think, or no, I think he said he's about to just strictly just live off music, bro. And I'm just like,
See,
yo,
I heard
respect.
that. I'm not on like Facebook and stuff like that, so I
Yeah.
don't like see
Again,
a
dog,
lot of
I
people's like
hate-
social media updates.
I hate
like,
saying that because like I am on that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't post that often, but I do watch people's stories, and I stay up with, it's like,
I think this.
if I didn't have this shit going on, bro, the podcast and this, bro, I really wouldn't fuck around with social media, dude. Like, it is retarded out there, dude. But
it
I
is.
get. I mean, how else am I gonna promote shit? And when his record gets done, like, you damn right I'm about to be, not shoving it in people's faces, but yeah, I'm gonna share it. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got videos on the way and shit. Like, of course I'm gonna use social media. It's a great ass tool. But if it wasn't for that, and I'm not, if y'all are just out here not having a brand or a company, or you just whatever, man, what the fuck you having social media for, bro? Like, just talk to your people on the phone and shit or whatever.
real.
Like, I don't,
Yeah,
like,
in
it's a
person.
mess,
There's
bro.
FaceTime now.
Bunch of hate and shit, negativity. You seeing
See,
stupid ass shit that ain't even half real, half fake. Like,
That's
just
exactly it.
politics.
People
Like,
live
get the
for it.
fuck out of there, dude. I'm in here because I have to be, man. Get the fuck off there, man. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't have, bro,
yes,
anything.
good.
And I respect the fuck out of that, bro. And
That's
he's
good.
24 as well. So, bro, when I was 24, I was like, I'm gonna be real, I was pretty deep into Instagram and, thinking, I was getting a little caught up, bro, and like, comparing myself to people and even celebrities like me. I always would compare myself to Logic and shit and be like, man, fuck, bro, like, he's a little younger than me. How come I'm not doing? I'm just like,
See,
yo, this is not healthy,
that's
bro.
and that's
it doesn't
exactly
even
it.
make sense.
People, I think artists do that way too much. Like they look at it like, oh, I'm like 24, 25, such and such is 19, 20, and look what they're doing. It's like everybody has a different story. Everybody has a
Yep.
different timeline. Like you can't really put your own time on success.
It doesn't make
Like,
sense.
You got to put in work. Like
Yep.
you don't know what work they put in. Like maybe they've been putting in work since they were 14,
Exactly.
and it's been the
You
same
weren't next to 'em
5-6 year
24/7
process.
or ever.
Like, exactly. So
It took me a long time to learn that. I would beat
Yeah.
the shit out of myself, bro, especially when Logic hit, bro. Because I really fuck with Logic, so I started following him, and people would always tell me, like, oh, you remind me of Logic, blah, blah, blah. Not that I don't rap and shit, but, like, I don't know why they said that, but they would. So I started, like, comparing myself and shit, and I'm like, man, he just bought a $3.1 million house, bro. I'm barely about to make my rent this month, man. How come he's this? And I'm like, bro, you're losing your fucking
Yeah.
mind, dude. Like, that doesn't even make sense, dude. Like,
See, and
I'm
that's-
on my own journey, bro. You're not on. There's already a Logic.
that's
I'm
one
Rob
thing
G,
that
you know?
that's
Like,
always like hard, like being a creative or musician. Whenever somebody like compares something that you've done to something else, and it's like, I don't know, I'm real like weary, like like earlier whenever you guys were showing me some music and like I
Yeah.
compare, like, I'm always real weary to compare it
Yeah.
to anything, but it's because of that, like because then especially like hip hop artists are the worst about it, like rappers, MCs, like because you tell them like, oh, this track sounds like Currency, and they're like, it doesn't sound like it sounds
Yeah.
like, it's like, well, bro, I didn't really mean it like that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And
it just
like
has
I
this
said, that's-
vibe.
Like I said, I say this every episode, man, and y'all are gonna hear it soon enough. But the only people that have heard T's shit is the guests that we've had on this podcast, and we always just, while we're getting set up, getting the vibe, we throw on a couple of songs, and we just, not fishing for compliments, shit. We just play and just see what people say,
It's
and
fire though.
it's, bro, I think it's so. I know so. I'm gonna be honest, bro. like trying to maintain humble and shit. But y'all just fucking wait, man. But like, I mean, how else are you gonna, like, you gotta kind of, you know, it's not like, and again, we don't want, like, I kind of, not as intense as what you just said, but we've had people come in and be like, yeah, it sounds like this, or, but, and I'm like, you know, that's cool. They're at least saying dope people. See, I can say that, but at the same time, like, I'd rather hear, like, man, what do you think about it though? Like, do you fuck with it? Do you not? Do you like this song better than, like, how come? Why do you like this song more? Like, a lot of people are like, they instantly want to go to, oh, bro, it sounds like this person. It sounds like that. And in my head, I'm like, bitch, no, it doesn't, man. It sounds like T. But and it does though. You know, at the same time, like, I feel you. How else are you gonna express what you're feeling? You're gonna use examples of shit. So there's really no way around it. You kind of have to throw out, like, it kind of reminds me of a mix of this and this. I do the same thing. I don't know how else to express myself or express it without to go in depth rather than like, I think it's dope because it reminds me of this. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, man. I think
that's how I like to make music though, is I like to make music that runs away from what somebody would expect because of that reason. It's like, you know, what am I gonna make today? It's like, I don't fucking know. Like,
exactly.
Like before I came, like I made a beat that was like, you know, like boom bap into some like trap shit, and then, you know, maybe later I'm gonna go make some like hard ass 808.
Yeah, and I like how you're like, maybe I don't know. Like I'm not sitting down to make a trap song. I'm not sitting down to just however you're feeling that day, you know. And like that's how I like. That's the only way I like to make music now, man. Is just what's the vibe right now, you know. It's hard to make. It's hard to you bring some dude brings in a beat that's like super turn up and shit, but the dude had a bad day or something. It's like, well, hey, bro, maybe we don't do this song today. But they always wanted this. But back again, when I'm just saying yes to people and shit, and I'm like, bro, your voice, I like, you know, or if it's a deep song and they're over here bringing people around and they're all fucked up and a bunch of cocaine and shit, and they're like, it's supposed to be a deep, real like slower. I'm just like, bro, this energy, you're forcing it now, and I can tell, bro, this shit ain't real. Like, your lyrics are cool and shit, but as I'm listening to it, bro. This shit does not sound like you mean it.
And it's so hard to like tell artists that because they get especially
offended.
on the type of level that we have dealt with a lot of artists. It's like most of them aren't trying to hear that because they don't understand. No. Like, we're telling you this because we want you to know that we want your career to be longer than the next 3 months.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
if it even
you know, if you don't get fucking pulled over when you leave here because you're acting an asshole with all these people. So
that's what I was gonna say. If they even make that long,
so
you know?
And like. I don't know, like that's exactly it. Like, it makes it real hard. Like, I kind of get like that stigma of like being that asshole that hates local artists, and it's not necessarily that. It's just like after a while of like really like trying to help people, it's like most of y'all don't really care because you're still doing the same stuff.
Shit. They're not taking advice or asking for advice, or they're acting like they know everything. And again, bro, we're speaking of, there's people that like. There's dope people, like the people I'm working with now, like
and that's exactly it. Like, it just takes time to like, you know, really weed through everything, and like now, like you're probably like me, like instantly when you meet somebody, it's like, I probably wouldn't be working with you. Like, you can just feel that vibe,
for sure,
like,
that
right
way.
off that.
Yeah, just last week I had somebody reach out to me and I just didn't like the way they were speaking to me. They were coming at me super cocky and hitting me with all the lines you've heard, bro. Oh, I'm gonna help put Klarity on, bro. Like, people been telling me I sound like this guy. I sound like Jelly Roll. I said, I don't, for multiple things and all that, bro. I don't want you to sound like I want you to sound like you.
Exactly.
Second of all, you super extremely cocky, bro, and I don't fuck with that. 2, like, you don't really seem to respect the craft. 3, I can go on and on just within that little text. I'm like, bro, you came at me the wrong way. Everything. Like, bro, how about you just come meet me? You don't even fucking know me. How about you say, hey, can I slide to the studio when you're free? Let's start a relationship, bro. I don't even know you. But you're coming at me already, first text message. Hey, is this Rob G? Yeah, what's up? Hey, I heard so-and-so told me about you. Bro, I can put Klarity on. Bitch, like, I hate you right now. Like,
I need to make like a list of like artist etiquette things, like this top 10 list of like ways not to approach something, and like that would definitely
let's collab, fam.
That would definitely be number one. Bro. I'm gonna put such and such on. Like, hold on, wait. You're gonna put me on, but you're hitting me up to get my stuff. Like it sounds like it's a little bit backwards to me. Like, you know,
we could. You know, I'm looking for like, let's both try to help each other out and have fun.
Like,
and
flip side, same person. Hey, bro, like I really like your stuff. Like, I feel like we could collaborate. Boom, bingo. That's
it.
the right way to approach it. Now we can put each other on.
Exactly.
Like, that's exactly it. Like artists are so quick to be like, oh yeah, like you need me, but I'm coming to you.
I
And
wouldn't even call them
this
artists,
is
bro. Just want to be artists and shit. For the majority, like the people that have come at me the right way, they actually tend to be more legit. But I will say, bro, there's a couple in the bunch that came at me all fucked up, but actually ended up really being true artists, bro. But I just didn't like them as people, so I didn't want to work with them. But they were talented. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite or a liar and be like, I'll be real. If somebody got talent, they got talent. If they don't, they don't. But you still just came at me the wrong way, and you also, now that we've met, you're digging the hole even deeper. Like you know what I mean? I'm like, maybe they just don't know how to. Again, I don't fuck with that anymore. Like, I've got my people, and I'm very protective of what I do, and I'm working with 3 people right now only.
Yeah,
that's it. And it was supposed to be 2, but this third one came in, and it just was a great fit, so we took them under 2. But I'm not looking for other people. If it happens organically, whatever. But I spend a lot, especially since we're tracking real drums, and that shit takes time, bro. I don't just have time to load a beat up and let's just go. Like, I don't even have time for that, and I don't want to do that anymore, man.
I feel that for sure.
You got anything though, man?
Yeah, you heard Lil Wayne new album?
Oh yeah,
man.
When did it?
It just dropped.
I
last night.
have not listened to any of the tracks, like any of the albums that have dropped. Like, I really don't pay attention to like current music whenever it comes out. I'll find out about shit.
Currency
like, 2 or
dropped
3.
an album.
Yeah, Currency dropped
too.
some. Yeah. He
I haven't
dropped,
heard any of it.
Yo Gotti dropped something.
Yeah, like a whole it was probably like
Hey, Boogie
8
dropped
people.
something today, too.
I still haven't even listened to the Eminem shit because like I really
Me
don't.
neither.
care.
I haven't either.
Like,
What about Mac Miller?
Nope.
Shit,
I'm still on.
Unless you want to be
so I'm not
sad
even
as
gonna
fuck,
lie
don't
to
even
y'all.
listen to the new shit.
I rarely listen to new hip hop music. Like the way that my phone works, like I plug it in and it just plays whatever's in my like iTunes library. So all I do is just sit there and like hit skip until it hits some shit that I like.
You're feeling, and move,
So,
keep
like,
going about your business.
Yeah, like I don't really like, because exactly what I was saying, like I don't want to hear what's going on right now because I want to make my own sound so that
we were just saying
when
that,
somebody's listening to my shit, it's not like, oh, that sounds like this new Kendrick or it sounds like this new J. Cole. It's like, it doesn't sound like none of that shit because I've not heard it. Like, I don't know what that track sounds like. Like,
exactly. Somebody was just asking me similar, like, what have you been listening to? This dude. That's what I've been listening to, my shit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, and that's exactly it. Like I was saying earlier with the Igor, like, that sounds like Brockhampton. Like, Brockhampton I've been listening to, like, they're, like, I listen to, like, a lot of low-key people, like, underground hip-hop, underground, like, I mean, even, like, trap. Like, I think underground hip-hop isn't just, like, boom bap shit. Like, underground is, like,
no, not at all.
Anybody that's, like, a regional kind of buzzing person.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I listen to a lot of that, but lately, if it's been rap and it's current and modern, it's been Griselda. Like, I don't know if y'all bump like like
I'm not
Conway,
gonna claim to
Westside
bump it all the
Gun,
time, but
Benny.
I know
that's like everything new that they drop. Like, I will have it the day that they drop it. That's probably the only person right now, like, or only group right now that I would be going for their stuff.
Actually, go out your way and want to sit. Yeah, Mac Miller's last record was the first album in forever that I literally, I mean, unless, Kanye, well, before that it was Kanye, Jesus is King. But anytime Cudi or Kanye drop something, I literally put time aside, and I don't want to hear anybody's opinion. I'll stay off social media. I want to really sit down, throw headphones on, or be with my people and really listen to it and listen to it, you know what I mean? But that's rare. I mean, Cudi hadn't dropped anything in forever, but he's about to. And Mac Miller, I was out in Vegas whenever that dropped, and me and my homeboy, we kept hitting refresh, and we were in a bar, and finally he was like, "Hey, it fucking dropped," you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go, and we didn't even make it through half of it, bro. It was so sad.
Hey, how do you feel about these posthumous albums? Like, because I mean, we shouldn't have to talk about it, but at the same time, XXXTentacion, he was one of the first with a posthumous album. Obviously, Tupac, they had bunch of songs. They had a bunch of songs of people who've died before, but X, they had a full album for him. Mac Miller, full album for
full
him.
Album. That was
Juice
already
WRLD, they say he got like 2,000 songs.
Yeah.
They about to
Juice
put out.
WRLD's
You
about
see what
to
I'm
have
saying?
like the Tupac wave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, so
bandwagoners are gonna hop on, but fuck it, they should at least they're
and I kind of feel
here.
like that's kind of how it was with Tupac. Like, I feel like, even, but like Tupac, whenever he died, I think I was like maybe like 5 or 6. Like it didn't affect me the way, it didn't really affect me in any way at that point in time because I didn't really know who Tupac was. Like I was a kid, like from a white home, so like it didn't really hit it. So for me, that didn't really. But as I got older and I realized, like, oh, okay, this is who this man was. This is what he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're starting to release all these albums. Like, wait, like he's dead, and why is he dropping like 15 albums and stuff like that years later? And it's like, now that I'm in the industry and like seeing things, and like it's like, oh, well, it makes sense. Like the dude was a workhorse. Like hell yeah, like keep dropping that shit. And let his family get paid and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's weird, but it also depends on how real the album is. Like Mac Miller, I don't really know how much music he dropped. So like somebody like Tupac and Juice WRLD, like I could see them in there just laying verses down quick. So there's a bunch of stuff, but how much thought did they put into some of those things? Whereas like
when Lil Wayne passes or whatever, bro, he's probably,
oh man, Wayne probably
but
has
again, was it just a bunch of freestyles? Was some of it real? Was some, again, we don't know all that stuff, but I can say, again, I'm not next to Mac Miller ever, but I'm, I wasn't a bandwagoner with them. I've been fucking with Mac Miller since the beginning, bro. And this album that they put out, he had already named it. He already knew the structure of it. He already that was it. They wasn't just some random shit that they pulled together to try to cash out. Like they were like, even his mom took over his Instagram account, and it's his mom now, and she was like, look, like we have to put this out for Mac. It's not some thrown together shit. He had the track order. He named it. He already picked the album art. Like this was what he was gonna do anyways. So I respect the fuck out of that. But again, halfway through, I had to stop it, bro, because it was damn near a suicide note, a cry out for help. Beyond the cry out for help.
And that's where it gets hard for me.
But it was like, bro, I can't. I'm in Vegas, bro. We're trying to have fun and shit. And I'm just like, bro, cut that shit off, bro. Like, this is really deep.
So that's really, like, I kind of expected that from the Mac Miller joint. And that's why I was kind of like, pause on it. Because, like, I listen to Mac Miller a lot. He's one of the artists that comes up in that random rotation. And I'll almost always listen to his full song. And I haven't wanted to give it that because it's like, man, like, this is about to be deep. Because, like, I know it was done before. And, we know the whole situation after, and it's just like, for sure, like it's super deep, but it's also weird, like, people going back and analyzing these Juice WRLD lyrics and some of these young artists' lyrics that, are dead or in prison, and like what they're saying, it's like, fuck, like, why isn't somebody like, who's the person that should be talking to these people about these things? Like,
you're like, were these people... Do you not hear what he's literally saying? He's giving up on life. He's done. These are words from the album. He's like, I can't go anymore. I'm beyond tired. I can't. People want too much out of me. I'm never good enough. Bro, 2 or 3 of the songs are talking about him being in heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, bro, I could be totally wrong. These people could have been like, bro, you need to get help. Like, fuck this album. We'll never know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe interviews will start coming out, but I like to believe, and from what I've seen, Mac Miller has surrounded himself with pretty real people. And I can't imagine, from when you hear the album, whenever you do, you see what I'm saying? It's the whole thing is a cry out. There's not one positive thing he says. It's all like, I need help. I am not okay. I'm far from okay.
Fuck fentanyl.
Bro.
Fuck fentanyl. Fuck fentanyl.
Man,
like,
there's some
worst.
new shit that's coming out, I heard, that's even 100 times stronger than that they're about to start cutting shit with.
Fuck addiction, but fuck fentanyl. Like, any asshole that's like spiking that shit with, anything extra, like, no, like, that's not cool. Like, doing drugs, that's one thing, but like, whenever you got assholes that are cutting it with extra shit, like, fuck all that. Like, no money is worth life. Like,
it's like,
not little money. Like, that's...
It's hard to find the words. It's like, you want to say the cliche shit, like there's a special place in hell for people like that, but that's like some next level, next level.
Yeah,
like, bro, what the fuck?
You're
bro?
Like purposely,
like, you're killing. You're a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone gets ODs or something on the regular shit, again, bro, addiction. I've dealt with it myself many times throughout my life, bro. It sucks, bro.
Facts.
But
these assholes that are gonna like
when you're taking shit that you don't even know what you're taking, that's. I don't want to like justify it, but I am. But you didn't. That's not what you bought. That's not what you wanted to put in your body. Like, you got killed, bro. You got murdered, bro. And the way I look at it, like, whoever the fuck that traces back to, like, damn, dude. But yeah, that album was really hard to get through, man. And it was just like you said, bro. You're like, dude, I just hope that these people were like, bro, like, maybe getting him help, or I don't know. You know, he kind of ghosted social media for a while to where like we don't know, man. Like, well, you know, we can talk forever.
I'm out of there. I want to thank you for joining
Unfriended
and support the Outsiders Club.
Hey, R.I.P. Kobe though. I gotta say that though.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. That's.
I'm not sure when this is gonna air.
Right
I'm not sure when this is gonna air, but I will say, you know, I'm not trying to ever preach to people and shit. Half the time that I'm rambling on, I'm talking to my fucking self, bro. But you know, motherfucking. Just call a motherfucker and tell him you love him, man. Shit like that. You know, I know that's super cliche and it's like, you know, tomorrow's not promised and shit, but bro, tomorrow ain't fucking promised, man.
Nah.
And like
I'm losing family.
And I'm talking to
too,
myself
bro.
right now. Yeah,
So,
he's going through it right now. Like,
that's why I kind of like sat back and say I'm out of it. Not that I'm out of the conversation, but
he's
like
had a
I'm just straight up.
Some shit happening, you know, and you know, right now, you know, and life, you know what I'm saying? But man, like I said, man, we can keep you on for 3 hours if we wanted to. But if you don't mind, bro, I would like to throw you in like a rotation. Is what we kind of decided we want to start doing. Is just keep these real short, so people can follow your journey and shit like that. So maybe here in a couple months, if you can join us again, and after that, you know what I'm saying, just so people can follow your journey and shit. And,
yeah, man, I'm about that.
Yeah, shit like that. But shit, hey, thank you, bro.
Oh man, appreciate y'all.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank y'all.
Before you go, let me give a shout out again, Panther City Hat Company. All the links are going to be below. Use the code Unfriended at checkout for 15% off at PantherCityHatCo.com. It's PantherCityHatCo.com. Shout out to Klarity Music Group for the production of this podcast. It's Klarity with a K. ClarityMusicGroup.com. Instagram and Facebook, Klarity Music Group LLC. All that good stuff. And shit, I guess we'll see y'all next week. But yeah, later, y'all.